before he broke his ankle. With this offense, I mean, Dak Prescott was off to have a career year. He was lighting up offensively in a brand new system, something that he didn't even have the luxury of an offseason to OTAs, minicamp, no preseason games, and yet he was out there dealing right out of the gate with Mike McCarthy and with Kellen Moore. So, look, I think they're crazy if they think that they're going to find something better than Dak right now, and to have to give up the farm or maybe even some land in Frisco to get Russell Wilson, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, I believe the question is Dak Prescott the quarterback for the future? He is. He's the franchise face of this organization. And the other question is, is the ownership in the right place? Yeah, I don't care what you think about Jerry Jones. His job is to sell tickets, put butts in seats, and sell merchandise and drive up the value of the team. He's done that. Is the quarterback coach, the offensive coordinator coach, is the head coach the right coach for this team? You just hit it spot on. When Dak Prescott was cooking and healthy on the field, he was putting up crazy numbers. The last question, do they have the talent? Yes, 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 yes to everything.
Yeah, they got the new triplets.
So why are you considering even bringing in another quarterback or not paying Dak Prescott? And you were talking in the commercial break, and we were talking about Dak Prescott versus Drew Brees and his body. The reason I feel like Dak Prescott is going to come back stronger than ever, he's not a slight guy. This isn't Lamar Jackson, who's coming back from an ankle injury and is zipping in and out of cuts. That isn't Dak Prescott's game. He's a big, thicker quarterback. He's not as crazy mobile as some of the lighter guys. So he's going to be perfectly fine when he comes back from injury. Dak Prescott is your guy. Pay him long term, because if you don't and you end up letting him go, you will regret this.
You can still pay him long term and make a call about Russell Wilson, can't you? I mean, I'm serious.
Get on the phone.
Let's create a little leverage here. If you're the Cowboys, we're doing this dance for 2 years, and Dak says, I want this. And what would light a little fire under everyone? Let's call Russell Wilson and let it be publicly known that maybe we will make a move. And if that's the case, maybe the team then says, okay, Russ, we're going to try to get you. And then Dak has to respond, okay, well, do I want to be a Cowboy and do I want to be franchised again?
Give a friendlier deal, maybe?
Maybe. I just feel like we're at such a standstill here, and it's been literally 18 months of this that to pick up the phone and say, hey, is Russell Wilson available? Because honestly, if you look at all these trade, offers for Russell Wilson, it's usually from the other team trying to get him, and it's like, we'll give you Sam Darnold for Russell Wilson. No, that's not going to do it. Maybe Seattle listens to Dak Prescott if he's offered. At the very least, I think that picking up the phone doesn't hurt things, especially when they're at such a snail's pace of getting a long-term deal done. We're going into off-season 2 of Good Morning Dak Prescott. I'm ready for a little action, maybe a little wrench in the process.
Yeah. Put a ring on it or break up. Okay, according to the Boston Globe, guys, as we move along, and you guys can play along at GMFB, Patriots head coach Bill Belichick does, quote, nothing but rave about Cam Newton. So believe it or not, Cam would thrive in a second season under Bill Belichick. Nate, we of course heard from Cam with Brandon Marshall some nice words about needing time, wanting more time as a quarterback.
Yeah, shout out to Brandon Marshall and the I Am Athlete podcast.
So good.
Paying attention to it. Really good stuff. And the new episode they got coming up. And this, I haven't talked to Brandon Marshall. I'm just saying, as a player, I appreciate it. I say yes. I say yes because Cam Newton has come out on multiple platforms and said, just give me one more opportunity within this offense. And if you look at last year, yeah, you can break down the passing, but he still can run. He still is physical. He still is one of those quarterbacks that as soon as he leaves the pocket, I mean, come on, this was like vintage Cam Newton. Like the old school, I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm faster than all of you guys. And he was doing this a few times throughout the year. Occasionally he will remind you that he still has a lot of juice left in the tank. So for me, I'm going with, yeah, of course, I believe Dak Prescott will be better in another year in that system.
Yeah, I think he'll be much better in year number 2. I honestly do. I think a full offseason with Josh McDaniels' playbook would be really beneficial for him. I'm not sure that that's good enough. Like we saw what we saw from Cam Newton. I thought he had a very strong start to the season, kind of tapered off and then had some good games at the end there. But his arm strength didn't look the same. And if the Patriots, who are built to win right now, does Cam Newton give them their best shot? He's going to be a free agent. So last year he played on the league minimum, 1 year, $3 million, next to nothing. Like, if there's another suitor, are the Patriots going to pay Cam Newton double digits, millions of dollars after what we saw last year? Is he going to get better this season? Maybe upstairs, knowing the playbook a little bit better, but physically, I'm just not sure if his body could take the wear and tear yet again, and I'm not sure if that gives him the best option to make the playoffs.
So do you think that he'll be the primary option for them at quarterback? Like, you'd think that right now, then go be aggressive, make something happen in the draft or otherwise for the Patriots?
I think the latter.
Yeah.
I think Cam Newton is going to be a free agent, and I don't think he's going to be signed by the Patriots right out of the gate. I would be surprised if they signed him a deal right away and said, he's our guy.
It makes sense.
He's going to sit for a little bit.
I think they want to see the field and see what else is out there.
Yeah, I think they're looking for the long-term answer, and Cam could certainly be the short-term answer. But to your point about this whole wait-and-see process, that's the worst-case scenario for Cam Newton. And when he went on that podcast and he talked about the mental grind of learning the Patriots system and being behind the 8 ball, feeling like he came into training camp because he signed late, kind of already behind. And then when he got COVID, he missed time. And he was just trying to get back on the treadmill, and he kept falling off. And I look at Cam and I say, for 3 years in a row, he's been robbed of his off seasons. Because the previous 2 years, he had surgeries, shoulder surgeries. He had the foot injury, too. He basically hasn't had an offseason in 3 years. So Cam could come back, and Cam could thrive in the Patriots offense, but he's got to have the offseason. It needs to happen now, or it needs to happen soon, because he needs to get cracking at it. And I think for Cam, when you look at physically what you're showing, this dude presents problems. Why does Bill Belichick like a guy like Cam Newton? He's had to defend Lamar Jackson. Anytime you have to defend a quarterback that can hurt you with his legs, it stresses your defense. But the question really is going to be for Cam, can he throw the rock? Because too many times he was skipping rocks. And that is not how you win football games for the Patriots.
Not going to be able to prove that to him over the next couple of weeks.
I mean, well, the knowledge of it, quarterback, obviously, there's two parts of it, right? The mental and the physical. But for Cam, it was obvious that he was struggling with the mental speed of it because he was just so far behind from a language standpoint, from a scheme standpoint. So if he can get in there early and mentally feel comfortable, you're not going to see this, all right? This is from late in the season against the Buffalo Bills. This is the game he actually gets yanked on. He completed 5 passes. I mean, that's a slant route right there, okay? And it's all about timing, and it's all about confidence. And if you believe and you know where to go with the football, the ball's going to come out quicker. And, I mean, there's the skipping rocks I'm talking about.
Processing the plays late, it causes those bad throws because you're making those late reads.
It's a trickle-down effect. And so I'm showing this bad Cam because I think that he looked at that and says, man, I don't want to go out like that. He talks about,
32.
There aren't 32 better than me. That right there is what he's trying to eliminate from everybody's memory, and I think for him to come back and do it,
is there a problem with his physical ability? Because you're showing what you're saying are mental errors.
I think it's combined. I think, look, I don't think his arm is the same as it was 3 years ago before he had all these surgeries. You could see, he doesn't bring the ball back as far when he throws the ball. I mean, it's much more compact. He keeps it all in there tight, and that's to protect
If I'm a Patriots fan and I'm listening to you say this, I say, what is the plan for the future? I'm a New England Patriots fan. We're questioning the physical ability of our quarterback going into this next season. What's the plan for the future? Be aggressive. It's March 1st. I'm looking at free agency. I'm looking at the draft for an aggressive shakeup, Shriggs.
Yeah, I think they should be looking at all options, and Cam Newton should not be their A1 focus. They should be exploring trades as well. And I think I'm going to talk about one of them, maybe a certain familiar quarterback to them.
Top 10 prospects coming up in the draft.
We're doing that soon,
too. We're doing all of that coming up right here on GMFB. More Good Morning Football is on the way. Happy Monday. My coffee's finally kicking in. Yes.